What is up, party people? Happy Monday. Zelensky's arriving soon for the big White House shindig. Suit and tie, what do you guys think? Is he doing it?
I don't think so. Well, no, wait a minute. He's got Europe there. He's got the EU.
That's why I think they're going to make him do it.
So, yeah, he's probably going to be in a suit and tie.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think he's going to be, worst case scenario, he's in nice slacks, like a shirt that's acceptable, maybe a turtleneck, feels like a turtleneck kind of guy, and a black coat.
Right? Yeah. And a bulletproof vest.
And a bulletproof vest.
Yes, sir.
That's some of the things. So I think he will, because after last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, this whole thing's a nightmare. Like, I watch people over the weekend, just people rooting for Trump to fail is the most asinine thing in the world.
It's crazy, man.
Put your stuff aside. This is war. Over 1 million people have died or been injured, 1 million casualties, and your goal is, I want him to fail so my team wins. What team? Right. First of all, you're not Ukrainian or Russian. Secondly, those are human beings over there.
Yes, sir.
How insane are you? You don't get any points, right? If Trump fails, you don't come home and go, you know what? I got a 25% raise because Trump stunk it up. That doesn't happen. Well, he just allowed him to have a red card. What did you expect? There to be a card table, right, with a couple folding chairs on, at the YMCA?
Gets picked up in a rickshaw.
Totally. Well, I'm just curious. What did anybody expect to have happen? He rolled out he did what? It wasn't like it was this magnificent thing. It was at an Air Force base in Alaska.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't New York City where they rolled out the real red carpet, right? And they had the Rockettes there as he comes down the thing. Although that would have been kind of cool. No.
That would have been something.
It was just, he's a criminal. He's a war criminal. Is he? Is he a war criminal? By the way, nobody's ever even been convicted of that crap.
Yeah.
Even when Sudan killed 300,000 people. And their war crimes. Like, was it really a war crime? Could we charge them? No. So settle ass down. My God, people suck.
Yeah, this is going to be a process.
Yes.
The fact that there was a 3.5 hour meeting or 2.5 hour, however long it was longer than 2 minutes. And the fact that the EU, Great Britain, and Zelensky have come to the White House means that maybe there's something they can work with. And I think we've got to wait and see.
I know that he doesn't want to give up land. It's land you don't have anymore. Sure. You're not getting it back.
And you said that, man. And there's no way Putin can go back to Moscow after all of this and say, well, we decided to give up the land we killed your sons over.
And we didn't get all the Nazis, because that was the other thing. Remember all the Nazis?
Right. I mean, it's despicable. It is.
It is.
It absolutely is, but somehow
he's got to come away a winner.
Yes.
Period. And you know what? I've even seen people say the end of war could mean the death of him. Is it possible? Who knows? But the reality is, as we've talked about last week, nobody, you want to be in that position, know that you're always on borrowed time. And if this is what he wants to do, he wants to say, I'll take this 20% here, and we're walking away, and we're not going to attack you guys anymore. You guys can't join NATO, and go from there. That's fine. And we give him some sort of little guarantee. What's the guarantee? If they attack you, if they cross over and attack you, we will make sure you have every piece of ammunition you can get your hands on, everything in the world. If Europe wants to put boots on there, that's fine. We're not putting boots on there. But we will back you to the hilt when it comes out. We'll give you the most advanced technology so you and the Europeans can defend yourself and go from there. There you go. But if you attack them, well, you're on your own there.
Yeah.
You're on your own. So, but I also, you got to think about this too. Zelensky's got to go back and sell it to his people.
He does.
His people are war weary. They're tired. They've recognized they're not getting that land back. And as much as they want to, and proud as they are, they can't afford any more death. They can't.
No, I'm floored by the number killed in this war.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no idea it was 1 million.
Yeah. I mean,
man.
I mean, think about, like, if you watch, and here's the crazy thing, you can go online and watch it all.
Yeah.
You watch guys with GoPros all day, killing everybody. You watch everything on here. It's insane what you can watch. It has been the most brutal thing because it is so much of this has been trench to trench, house to house, street to street. It's time. And when your average age is in the late 40s, and in some areas 50s and 60s, that's all you have left. That reminds everybody like at the end of World War II. Who was guarding Berlin? It was kids and the elderly. You can't afford that anymore. You can't. You got to rebuild your future. Grandma outside firing a gun, trying to keep the Russian soldiers, even if they are gun strips that he's grabbed off out of a health food store. It's just, no, it's time. But that being said, you do have to go sell it to your people that this is what's going to be best. And you got to sell it to the Europeans because I think once Trump gives it up to him, and I think the Europeans also have to sell a portion of this to him that, look, you can't do this forever because we're all going to go broke. And Trump's already said he's not going to go. And, India didn't even blink at 50%. And he's already said he's not going to go after the Chinese with extra tariffs.
Yeah, so, and that's been paused for another 90 days, too.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's...
it's probably that's how this thing's going to go with the tariffs, man.
Forever. Trump's going to be out of office. They're going to be going back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. It's just crazy. Just insane. So here's the breakdown of deaths, which is insane. The 1 to 1.5 million total casualties, killed and wounded. Russian soldiers, over 250,000 killed and wounded. Or killed. The Ukrainian general staff reported about 1.1 million. I mean, you're looking at soldiers' death. I mean, the amount of people that are dying on a daily basis, too. You're just sitting there waiting for it all to happen. You're outside, relaxing. Next thing you know, it's over.
Yeah, next thing you know, you hear the whistle of missiles. I guess you can hear them coming.
Yeah, and the drones are just insane. By the way, if you've not seen the drones, you can see them here. You can also see them in Gaza. They're up 24/7 flying around all over looking for stuff. It is, I mean, this is the war we're going to fight now. So it looks like he is pulling in now. Yeah, that must be him.
Oh, yeah, that's got the Ukraine flag on.
There's old Trump out in front of the White House waiting to greet him. All right, what do we got going on here?
Let's see what he's wearing there, Brother Chad.
Oh, looks turtlenecky.
Yeah, it does. I can't.
Oh, he's got a black. Oh, it's a full black. Oh, yeah, he looks good.
Got a blazer.
He's got it looks like it's a black, like, dress jacket that's real tight because he's kind of a fit guy. And he's got his black shirt is buttoned all the way to the top. I think Trump even said, hey, you look pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? You don't look like you're the lead singer of U2 anymore.
I think he might have.
You could tell. He goes, look at you, huh? You could dress up nice. I've seen him in a suit and tie. I got to be honest, it looks stupid. He looks so awkward in a suit and tie. You ever seen people where you haven't seen them for a while and they're dressed up? You're like, you look stupid. It's the same way when people are always dressed up, try to dress casual. Hey, those are nice socks and sandals. That's not a good look. What are you, a German tourist? So we'll see how this goes. I mean, again, but I listened to all the talking heads this weekend. It's like, well, Trump did this and Trump welcomed him back to society. Blip, 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 blip. Shut up. What were you expecting? This is the funny thing. I can't believe Trump talked to him. Okay, well, how is this going to get done?
Exactly.
How do you get stuff done? If we're going to go back World War II, what happened? We're not going to sit down with the Japanese or the Germans.
Yeah.
So what then? We're just going to keep doing it? No, you have to have a conversation, and this is it. You have to sit down, and you have to be in the same room, too. That's the big thing. That is an absolute win, because I think Trump feels if I can get him in the same room, and those two can't agree on stuff, you guys are on your own. You guys are on your own. We'll see.
That's kind of what Trump is saying here. He's saying, look, I'm going to get all of you together, but this is Europe and Zelensky and Putin's deal. even though we now have mineral rights
Yes.
in Ukraine.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other big thing. I want to see what they're.
That could be something, that Trump is floating toward Putin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing is Trump always and Trump. I watched what's his name, Bill Maher over the weekend saying, "Look, one thing I know about Trump is this guy truly hates war. He does. He hates it.
He does.
It gets in the way of. You know what? First of all, I think he looks at this and thinks useless killing is there's nothing need. We don't need to do that. The second thing is he thinks it gets in the way of business. That's what he likes. Business. He's a businessman, and he's not a businessman of war. All these other people in the past who've been bought and sold by the military-industrial complex, they're fine with war. Right? Like go like Lindsey Graham has never seen a war he doesn't agree with more. Like, oh, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go war. Right? John Bolton. Oh, that guy lives for war. He would invade a kindergarten if given the chance. With tanks.
Why do we have all these weapons if we're not going to use them?
That's it. God, you guys are being the worst. No, there are some people out there, this is their jam. Trump doesn't like it. He's not a violent dude. He's not into that. He wants to see everybody make money. And Trump, that was a big thing. 3 hours in the Alaska thing with Putin. An hour spent on this and 2 hours was talking business about trade, what they could do, bring you back into the world, look at all this great stuff. I promise I'll make it up to you. We're going to do all kinds of trade. We're going to lift up more than those 20,000 sanctions. You're going to be loving life again. It's going to pour in. You're going to be a hero.
Yeah.
This is the way he pitched it.
Well, and Trump knows that just, laying out how many people are dying, Putin doesn't care about that.
No.
This is about what Putin can salvage out of this.
Yes.
And make himself, like you said, look like he has won.
Yeah, he's got to. I mean, in the position he's in, you can't go home and look weak. Like you said, you how many people, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 of your young men are never coming home?
Yeah.
And if you're a study of history, go look at the real reason why Afghanistan fell apart for them. The mothers took to the street. Lives are being lost, and they're asking a question, why do we want this land? What exactly about this do we need? Our boys are dying, and there was so much pressure on the Soviets at the time that they had to back away. They knew they couldn't handle it anymore. So you've got to be able to tell everybody that you are the victor in this situation, or you will pay the biggest price. So it looks like they're getting ready to do some talking. What we'll do is we'll get over to Ken, and think he's going to get yelled at today? I doubt it.
I don't think so today.
I don't think so today. Everybody's smiling. This looks like a happy time. Because I also realized, I think Trump realizes too, I promised everybody I'd get this thing done. If I just go off on him today, that's not going to be a good look. And he did dress up. He did. He looks pretty smart. Looks like he's smart. He's dressed up smart, as I would say.
Yeah, he is. He looks sharp.
He does. So we'll talk about this, a bunch of other stuff to get to today. Reach out to us across all of our social media. We love when you do that. Got some of your text messages. More on this. They're holding a meeting right now. Maybe if we get back, we'll break into it and see what's going on there. Chad Benso, Super Talk 997. PrizePicks, preseason is here. You can still start making some money on PrizePicks. You win up 2,000 times your money. And it's simple and easy. It's a lineup. You set a lineup, 2 more players. I'm going to tell you how to do it in a second. But do you realize if you play your first $5 lineup, they're going to get $50 bonus right into your account for more lineups for you to play, win or lose on your first lineup. It's that simple with PrizePick. It's more or less. And that's how you pick it. You don't pick teams. There's no spreads. It's more or less. Do you think Patrick Mahomes will run for more than 62.5 yards in this game? More or less. Maybe more. Do you think that Aaron Rodgers is going to throw for more than 195 yards in this game? More or less? More. But you pick it. There you go. Lineup set. That easy. I'm telling you guys, it is incredible. It's fun. Take the knowledge you have, all the sports that you watch, all that useless stuff that many people think, why do you keep that in your brain? Because I know. Now you can turn it into some cash with our good friends at PrizePicks. Download the app today. Use my code CHAD to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CHAD, $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineups, win or lose after your first game. You get it right there. PrizePicks, run your game. Must be 21 and present in Tennessee. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9790. Don't let something small become something big. We're talking about water right in your basement, crawl space, places you couldn't think that's a cracker. Oh, good. That's why USS is so important. 30 years in business, United Structural Services, ready to help you. They'll come out and they'll take a look around. Absolutely no cost to you. And they're not going to sell you anything you don't need. 30 years in business, 30,000 plus happy customers. They are incredible. So you've got those little cracks. You've got those little areas you can't see. Those are the ones you need to worry about because something small could become something good, and USS can get out there. Mold, wood rot, you got standing water somewhere. You can't see it, but you think it could be there. Don't let it become something where it's all about replacing the foundation, doing massive work. Get to it early. Let USS be a part of that. Call them today. 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855. And remember, if they have to do the work, that work's guaranteed for life. They're amazing. 615-488-7855 or online at USSTN.com.
All right, President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky taking questions from the media right now ahead of talks on what Russia may be offering up as an end to the war in Ukraine. We'll get you some of that audio and more coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Sandra says, because Chad believes if someone steals something from you, it's no longer yours and you have the right to it. No, they have the right to the land. Go get it then. If that's what you want to do. It goes back to this. Something bigger and badder came and took your stuff. And there's nothing you can do about it. We're not going to get in a war. Is that what everybody wants, us to go to war with them? And if they want to go and continue to fight, that's fine. But why do we have to pay for everything? At some point in time, you have to just go, what can we do? Right? Where can we get this thing stopped and come to a situation where things, while not perfect, are agreeable and the deaths of young men and women, older men and women, children can stop? Where can we get to that point? Because that's important. Let's see if we can dip in for a second. By the way, a lot of people want to know what he wore today.
Have an understanding what are the root causes of this war?
Well, look, the war is going to end. When it ends, I can't tell you, but the war is going to end, and this gentleman wants it to end, and Vladimir Putin wants it to end. I think the whole world is tired of it, and we're going to get it ended. It was, I've done 6 wars. I've ended 6 wars, and I thought this maybe would be the easiest one, and it's not the easiest one. It's a tough one. A lot of reasons for it, and they'll be talking about it for a long time, but they'll be talking about the others. Look, India, Pakistan, we're talking about the big places. When you look at, you just take a look at some of these wars. You go to Africa and take a look at that. Rwanda and the Congo, Republic of the Congo. That's been going on for 31 years. And so we've done a total of 6, and we really have 6, not including the fact that we obliterated, and it turned out to be a total obliteration, the nuclear, as you said, the future nuclear capability of Iran. And this one, I think we're going to get solved also. I feel confident we're going to get it solved.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can you tell us about your conversations with European leaders and what they need to see to support an end to the war?
Yeah, well, we're going to be meeting with a great representative group and 7 very powerful, very big countries, great people, all friends of mine and friends of yours. And we're going to have some suggestions made. They want to see peace. They would like to see peace.
President Trump, you said last
In the
night
red,
that-
in the red.
President Trump, do you think it's fair for Ukraine and for Russia to achieve a lasting and durable peace if Ukraine cedes its territories that Russia hasn't yet conquered? Do you think it's a fair peace for Ukraine?
We're going to have a lasting peace. Just to answer the first part of your question, we're going to have a lasting peace. I hope it's going to be immediately. I hope it doesn't have to go on. And I think people of the whole world is going to be very happy when that's announced. Yeah, please.
You posted on social media, Mr. President, a very touching letter from the First Lady, and the letter was hand-delivered to President Putin, and it calls for an end to the war, essentially, because of the children and the children's future. Why did the First Lady feel that letter was necessary? Was it because she believes that Mr. Putin is the aggressor in the war? Is a similar letter being hand-delivered to President Zelensky?
So the First Lady felt very strongly. She's watched the same thing that you watch and that I watch. I see things that you don't get to see, and it's horrible. But when she's got a great love of children, she has a wonderful son that she loves. Probably more than anybody, including me. I hate to say it, but she loves her son. She loves children, and she hates to see something like this happening. And that goes for other wars too. I mean, she sees the heartbreak, the parents, the funerals that you see on television. Always funerals. We want to see something other than funerals. No, she felt it was a beautiful letter. It was very well received by him, and. She did ask me to say, she would love to see this end. She would love to see it end, and she says it very openly, very proudly, and with great sorrow because so many people have been killed.
We're listening to Donald Trump.
Brian,
They're holding a press conference before they get to the meeting. So the way it works today, I guess, is there's a press conference here. They're going to go into a meeting, and then later on, your great friends and mine are showing up. You guys know them, good friends of yours. The Europeans. It's the president of the EU, Keir Starmer, I think, is coming. Yeah. Macron couldn't make it because he's with his man-wife in there.
So Macron is not here, huh?
I don't think Macron is. I saw him yesterday. He was on a jet ski somewhere with his man-wife.
Interesting.
So unless he flew in, he's here today with his man-wife. But why would he? Because Candace Owen would meet him there. Where's your man-wife? I'm kidding, Macron. You're a fun guy. Who else is going to be there? I think there's the Italian. Was her name Maroni? She's going to show up. She likes Trump. Right? They get along. And a few others. But this is going to, this is the first start. I've said it's going to take months. And we're getting towards that end of the summer kind of thing where I thought we would be here by the end of this month. Who knows? And Putin saying, I don't want ceasefire. I want peace. Give me my land that I stole from you.
That's pretty much what he's saying.
Yeah. And then I'll be happy and I can go home riding on the back of a giant. No, he's not. He's going to stand on the back of 2 polar bears with metal chains in his hands.
Probably.
Yeah. But I was surprised at how tiny he was.
He's a little fella.
Yeah. And you know what? So is, Zelensky. Zelensky's not a big cat either.
Well, you're looking at them both compared to Trump. And what is he, 6'4"?
Yeah, he's 6'3", 6'4". He's a big dude. But, that it was really noticeable with the pooter. All right, coming up, we'll have more of this, bunch of other stuff to get to as well. Reach out to us across all of our social media. Happy Monday, everybody. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. President Trump sitting with Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House, answering questions from the media ahead of talks on ending the war with Russia. Fox News' Peter Doocy was the first to ask questions.
President Zelensky, You say, in a post on X today, Russia must end this war, which it itself started. President Trump, you say President Zelensky of Ukraine can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to. Which is it?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think we're going to have a meeting. I think if everything works out well today, we'll have a trilat. And I think there will be a reasonable chance of ending the war when we do that.
And is this the end of the road for American support for Ukraine? Is today's meeting deal or no deal?
I can never say that. It's never the end of the road. People are being killed, and we want to stop that. So I would not say it's the end of the road. No, I think we have a good chance of doing it. It's been almost 4 years now that a lot of people were killed last week. A lot of people last week. I mean, millions of people killed, but a lot of people last week for whatever reason. A big number, a lot of soldiers, on both sides. And I know the president, I know myself, and I believe Vladimir Putin wants to see it ended.
Now, so those are the first two questions and first two answers from President Trump ahead of his meeting with Volodymyr Zelensky and the UK and the EU. Newsmax paying more than $100 million in settlements for falsehoods alleging election fraud back in 2020.
The cable channel settled with voting machine company Dominion last week and agreed to pay $67 million in 3 installments. Dominion had sued Newsmax for $1.6 billion in 2021. At the time, Newsmax said it was only reporting on newsworthy allegations that were made by public figures. The case was set to go to trial this fall in Delaware. Newsmax previously settled with another voting machine company, Smartmatic, for $40 million. Brian Clark, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Weather can change in an instant, and you need to be prepared for any outcome. That's why Generator Supercenter of Nashville will help keep your family safe and connected. We make buying a backup generator simple and easy, with financing options available, free in-home estimate, turnkey installations, no worry warranty, and most importantly, the monitoring and service of your fully installed generator. Come see us at our location in Nashville or visit us online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
Beacon Capital Management's got something for you. Let me tell you something. That one big, beautiful bill, very big. A lot of stuff in there you can take advantage of it. You may not know about it. Beacon is amazing. They want to be your full-service investment advisor. Taxes. What about all the things in taxes you may not know about? They may last just a little while. They may go on a little bit longer, but you have to understand what the opportunity is. How about this? $10,000 off in car loan interest, but only if it meets a certain requirement that includes restrictions like, hey, you know what? It's got to be made here in the U.S., but there's some other restrictions as well. But you could take off the interest of your car loan. They've also got above-the-line charitable deductions, $1,000 for individuals, $2,000 for couples. But once again, not a one-size-fits-all. How does it pertain to you? And let's not forget, if you're a senior, right? Right now, if you're a senior, they expire in 2028. But if you're over 65, you're eligible for additional senior deduction up to $6,000 with a phase-out. But you got to learn about these things, and they want to help you. Beacon does. So this is what I want you to do. Schedule a free personalized financial consultation. Visit beaconcm.com. That's beaconcm.com, or call 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303, or visit online at beaconcm.com. This is a paid placement. A lot of people are very concerned about the look of Zelensky. I'll tell you what, it looks sharp, right? It looks sharp. Got almost like a waistcoat, goes down a little bit longer. Black outfit. I don't think he's wearing a tie because he's blacked out. What would they say? He's murdered out in the ride. Well, that should be a good urban word of the day, murdered out. That's not very nice, Chad. They're talking about war. You know why they talk about war? I want you guys to listen to this. This is the reality, though, of everyday Americans for a lot of people out there. And this lady, I think, is really kind of saying, she took to TikTok, she kind of just opened up about the struggles of her life right now. And I think a lot of people feel this way.
Hey, TikTok. I'm just on here wondering if anybody's feeling the same way I'm feeling. I'm from Illinois, and I feel like the gas prices and the electric bills and the prices of food is just so overwhelming anymore. Like, I'm wondering if anybody else is feeling like they're drowning and they can't get out. I work overtime, and I cannot get above water. I mean, I literally have no gas for next week. It was either that or get a few groceries to get by. I hit my local food pantries. I'm just wondering if anybody else feels like they're drowning. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great day.
That right there, I think, sums up a lot of people. You know, we're sitting here talking. Think of the billions we're spending in Israel, the billions we're spending over here and around the globe. We've got people that are hungry. We've got people that are struggling. And, you know, we've talked about it. Belle and Ken and I have said, what matters? The economy, stupid. And you hear that in that lady. She's most places that do, and I remember when I was out in Arizona, like the station I worked at, Bonneville, was owned by the Mormons. And their big thing is every host or show has to have a charity that we work with, which is a really cool thing. And we did the food bank, and we would go and we'd hand out food, and we do like some of our show from there. Although they told me I couldn't do it anymore because I kept inviting all kinds of, like, I would find the people that were a little crazy. It's like, hey, you should come over here and do some of the show with me. But the people that are in line are not somebody who doesn't work. A vast majority of them are working parents, sometimes with double incomes. Life is just getting away from them. That is still the most important thing. We are a nation that is still about the pocketbook when it comes to our voting. And here's a lady who's struggling. And it's weird because, like, energy prices have gone down, except where it comes to the actual energy prices to heat or cool your home, things of that nature, where they've gone up in certain places. Some of it's taxes, but a lot of it is who knows what. And they're frustrated. And you hear it in that lady's voice. And it is the economy, stupid. It is. And I think that lady spoke for a lot of people out there that I hear from you guys. You know, some of you, you know, you text me, you say the same thing. I'm doing great. Life is great. Yeah, Trump is killing it here in Tennessee. There's no doubt. I think Trump is fourth. I think Tennessee is fourth in support for Trump. The latest polling data I saw. Oddly enough, I think Wyoming was number one. And I think the Dakotas were like 2 and 3 or something like that. So, yeah, but there still doesn't mean there's no struggling going on out there. There absolutely is struggling. And I think people are trying to figure out, okay, what do I have to do to get ahead? They're waiting for this to come down. They're waiting for prices to come down. They're waiting for, even if prices don't come down, they're waiting for their world to change when it comes to the amount of money they're earning so they can get ahead of it. Inflation's horrible, but if you keep ahead of it, you're doing okay. Right now, for a lot of people, there's a struggle there. Speaking of, you know, the amount of money, Trump is giving his presser right now. But we were talking earlier about how people feel in Ukraine. So the numbers are out when it comes to the war. Right? Its numbers are out when it comes to the war. And where they were, not too far after this started, to where they are now have changed.
There have been some absolutely major shifts. The idea that Ukraine's going to achieve complete victory. That idea has collapsed within Ukrainian society. What are we talking about here? Ukrainians on the war versus Russia. You go back to 2022, the start of the war. Fight until Ukraine wins. Look at this. The vast majority, about 3/4, 73% agreed with that position. Negotiate to end the war as soon as possible. Only 22%. Look at where we are now. It's a complete flip. It's the inverse. Now 69% want to negotiate to end the war as soon as possible, compared to just 24% who want to fight until Ukraine wins. That's a 49-point drop in this position. Now, of course, negotiating to end the war as soon as possible, that's a bit more nuanced, right? Ukrainians don't want to agree to all of Russia's demand, but I think the idea of even there being some territory that would be not formally recognized as being given that Russia could in fact stay in, that does have majority support, but the idea of formal recognition of Russia's demands, absolutely not.
They call it what you want to call it. You could pretend it's yours still, but it's not. They've taken it. And you're not going to get it back because not everybody's going to support you, and you've run out of people. You've run out of people to fight the fight. But you hear, they want it over. You want it over in the way that you want it over. It ain't happening that way. So you have to come to the next best thing. We'll recognize that you occupy that land as like a co-ownership. Think of it as a lease, but it's still our land. That's probably the way that you go about doing it. The issue is all those minerals, which Trump has already negotiated some of that stuff. That's why he wants to make sure that all of this gets done in such a way that, yeah, we get some of the stuff out of it. Poured a lot into it. Europe wants some of it, and they all want guarantees. Trust me, Europe wants this thing over, too, because they would like to start getting some stuff from Russia to try to ease their ridiculous inflation rate. As bad as we've had it here over the last couple of years, it pales in comparison to what somebody in Europe's had. Absolutely. Europeans have paid a price for this, and they're closer, right? I would expect that from them. And this I came across, I think, this is the perfect example of insanity right here, straight across the board about Russia and Trump getting together. Eric Swalwell, who, of course, dated Fang Fang, is that her name?
Fang Fang.
Fang Fang. Fang Fang, bang, bang.
Putin completely played Trump. This is entirely about Donald Trump refusing to release the Epstein files and in putting forward this scripted counter-programming to that, he made America weaker as perceived by the rest of the world, and he humiliated himself.
He's such a buffoon.
Wow.
Is he just an idiot?
Yes.
How did he play us? Well, he came over here and he got to stand in front of the world. Yeah, it's right now, this is his play. Trump could offer him everything. Zelensky could agree to it, and he could still say, why would he want to stop now? He didn't have to. The world already thinks he's a pariah. Trump's already said he's not going to do anything when it comes to China. I don't think he's going to raise any kind of tariffs any more than 50% on India. So the two great nations that buy the cheap oil from Russia that really kind of keep them afloat, they have no worry about that. They're still going to... India needs to keep their world going. They got 1 billion people. That's a lot of folk there.
Infinity.
Yeah. I mean, think, they've passed China, and look where they are. And they need to feed their people. They need to keep their people cool. They need to make sure that stuff is working. They're not going to go, oh, yeah, you're right, we'll stop. No, they want cheap. They want to be as neutral as possible outside of China and get all the cheap oil and energy they can get. So Putin has no reason to stop. The only reason he stopped is because somebody makes such an offer to him and presses him so much that gets him to see, look, this is going to be better for you. You can go home, a victor, all of that stuff. Because he could just continue to bomb. Are we going to fund this forever? No, we're not. We're not going to fund this forever. We're not going to continue to throw them all the weapons we possibly can, which we pay for, right? We tell the people that build the weapons here, swipe the unlimited card, send them over there. We deplete our stocks. Just isn't going to happen. So he's got to be made to see what a great idea this is for him to stop. And he's got to go home a winner or he'll pay the price. He will. The Democrats are terrible. It's 1726. They are. Swalwell he's a he's just an interesting character. Brad said he's the most punchable face in Washington. It does. It does. That does. I mean, he is something else. He is, you know what? I wonder who buys the stuff. Like, who sits there and goes, oh, yeah, we're no longer safer.
Well, he's marketing his brand to his base is really all he's doing it for.
But what brand is that? I sleep with spies?
No, it's the I hate Donald Trump and you do too, so I'm the guy you need to support because I hate him like you do.
He's such a clown. Man, that guy is such
a total clown.
He's not even like a good clown. He's just the worst kind of clown.
It's like him and Schiff went to the same clown college.
Oh, good God, yes. Adam Schiff. Dip Schiff, what? Trump will telephone Putin right after the meeting with Zelensky. Pooter, I got to tell you something, Pooter. It's going to be fantastic. I got you everything you wanted. And I'm not sure, even if he did, that Pooter would take it right away. He might drag this thing on because he does like the spotlight.
Yep.
He does. He does. And so even if he got everything he wanted, they may say, okay, this is going to go into effect 20 days from now, 30 days. There's going to be more to it. He enjoys the process because it gets him out of this place. Gets me out the Kremlin for a while. So interesting indeed. A lot of good stuff we didn't get to Friday, which we are going to get to. And nice suit. Yeah, Brian, I'm sorry. I said Brad. I said Brian. There is Schiff has the most punchable face. Who do you think has the most punchable face? I don't know why we should be punching them.
Yeah.
India needs to support almost 70,000 more people each day. 67,385.
Each day?
Each day. Those are new folks. Good God.
Is that births and immigration?
No, I don't think there's a lot of immigration going on.
I don't think there's a lot of people.
Yeah. I bet if you go to the immigration, it's pretty empty here. I wonder what's going on.
We are not taking any more.
Yeah, that's a lot of those. You know how we have that sign that talks about the debt? It's that same thing over there with India, but just people. Oh, geez. Coming up, a lot of fun still to get to. We got some good stuff today. We didn't get to Rush, and I want to do some of that because Rush Week craziness has happened over the last couple of weeks, and the amount of money that these kids earn and the cost of this is insane. It is crazy. Talk a little bit about that, among other things. And the movie Weapons dominates the box office again. But what's crazy is my uncle, who writes movies, does the movies, we do all these kind of stuff. He went and saw it, and what he texts me at 3 a.m. is crazy. We'll talk a bit about that as well. If you're missing the show, shame on you, grab the podcast. Jeff Ben Show, Super Talk 997. Raycon, best earbuds around. Love my Raycons. You will love yours. Fit, feel, second to none. Now, these are the original Raycons. So when they originally came out, they didn't have all the hotshot stuff they have now. The hotshot stuff is all, like it's got the active noise cancellation, the fast charging. Nope, these are just amazing sound quality and a great fit. Now, they've got everything. Sound quality, second to none. Fit, second to none. 8 hours of talk time, 32 hours of battery life. We can go on and on. Active noise cancellation at a price that won't break the bank. In fact, 20% off. They start about half of price of other premium audio brands. No stems, no wires. You will love the fit. You will love the sound. They're incredible. So this is what I want you to do. You're going to buyraycon.com/chat. Not only am I going to save you 20%, I'm going to get 30-day happiness guarantee and free shipping for the best Raycons, the E25s, the OGs, the originals. Go to buyraycon.com/chat to save now 20% off free shipping. Buyraycon.com/chat.
Weather can change in an instant, and you need to be prepared for any outcome. That's why Generator Supercenter of Nashville will help keep your family safe and connected. We make buying a backup generator simple and easy, with financing options available, free in-home estimate, turnkey installations, no worry warranty, and most importantly, the monitoring and service of your fully installed generator. Come see us at our location in Nashville or visit us online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
All right, drivers, right now in the Gulch, we've got the right entrance lane blocked 40 eastbound at Broadway. Then in Williamson County, Cool Springs got a crash blocking the left two lanes, 65 northbound before Moores Lane. Looks like President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky have wrapped up their press availability. Looks like the talks are underway. We got a status report coming up at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Somebody sent me something that says, disrespectful POS cat turd. Zelensky met with Trump Special Representative Keith Kellogg in Washington, D.C. He's in a T-shirt, no suit, disrespectful. No, he's all kitted up to meet with the president. That's an old pic.
Some of you are looking at old pictures.
Yeah. And come on, Cat Turd, we expect more out of you than this. Hey, did you see that Putin gave that dude a motorcycle?
What dude?
There's a guy that works for the Russian embassy, an American, and he's got a Ural motorcycle that he can't find parts for. It's a Russian thing. And he talked to the press, I guess, a few days before, and they flew over a motorcycle for him, and they handed him the keys and said, here's your brand new motorcycle.
Oh, that was nice of it.
Yeah, that was nice of him. It's probably all.
He's not a total evil bastard.
No, well, he is, but still.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say he delivered the motorcycle and then delivered a few missiles to Kyiv.
You know how it goes. You get it, right? Like, it happens.
Yeah.
He is just not stopping. He is sitting there telling everybody, yes, of course we want to stop. And then as he's doing that, he's like, fire, fire, fire.
Yeah, I think that they may be bombing Ukraine right now.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's what Patrick Reevell was reporting earlier.
I think they are. They had a big drone attacks. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. They're going to meet here, I believe, in the next couple hours. So they're meeting Zelensky and Trump. And then in a couple hours or about an hour from now, I think the rest of the crew shows up. So, and that'll be a bunch of people, EU, a bunch of the presidents and leaders from, EU nations. Although Trump, they said that he didn't rule out putting boots on the ground in Ukraine as a security effort.
I did not hear that.
That's what CNN had. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not.
Yeah, and I don't think Trump is either.
No, but it sounds good.
That's probably one of those deals where he said, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just throws stuff out there. But, yeah, I think that would be a hard pass.
That's a hard thing to sell to the American people. That's a real hard thing. They're not NATO, but they're NATO light. They're going to get NATO protection against one nation.
They're NATO adjacent.
Yes, against one nation. That's it. So we'll see. Coming up, hour number 2 of the program, more on this. Got some other stuff that's really interesting and fun to talk about. That's not just war. If you're missing the show, you know how we say, shame on you. Grab the podcast. Hour number 2 of the Chad Benson Show straight ahead.
Shame.
Shame. One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Oppressive heat and humidity back in play right now. We've got a real temperature of 94 degrees, but the National Weather Service says the heat index in Nashville is 99. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump welcoming Ukraine's President Zelensky to the Oval Office, just like in February when talks then spiraled into a back and forth. Today, Zelensky has the support of European leaders at the White House, and it follows President Trump's bilateral meeting with Russian leader Vladimir Putin on Friday in Alaska.
We had a good meeting, as you know, just a short while ago with the president of Russia. And I think there's a possibility that something could come out of it, and today's meeting is very important.
The president earlier pushing for Russia to agree to an immediate ceasefire, but now signaling Ukraine may have to give up territory for peace. ABC's Patrick Reevell says Russia continues to carry out strikes in Ukraine.
In the strike in Kharkiv, 5 Russian drones struck that residential building. And I think it underlines how Russia is continuing to wage its war in Ukraine, even as these peace talks continue.
The president will meet with the European leaders after talks with Zelensky. This is ABC News.
2 police officers are dead in Utah after responding to a domestic disturbance call about 70 miles north of Salt Lake City.
Right as the officers arrived on scene and a person in the home opened the front door, the shooter opened fire on the officers, killing 2 who had responded for a domestic disturbance. Detective Crystal Beck.
Upon arrival, they immediately began taking fire. They requested additional units and then stopped answering their radio.
A 3rd officer and a canine were also injured. A resident in the home has been arrested and booked for aggravated murder. A nearby police chief calls a fallen officers heroes. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Here in Middle Tennessee, the two people charged with the death of a young man who was driving to work on I-24 last month due in court today. Noah Taylor was 22 years old when he was gunned down while behind the wheel near Waldron Road.
Letitia McGowan and Glenn Branson are now charged with second-degree murder. Police report showing that officers found a bullet casing in the trash at their Smyrna home, and that actually matched a cartridge case found where Taylor crashed.
That is Channel 4's Alexandria Adams. Media outlet Newsmax paying more than $100 million to settle defamation claims brought by voting machine companies.
Newsmax says it stands by its coverage as fair, balanced, and conducted within professional standards, but agreed to pay Dominion Voting Systems $67 million in a settlement. A Delaware judge had ruled that Newsmax defamed Dominion by airing false information after the 2020 election. A jury was going to decide how much Newsmax would have to pay. Dominion says it's pleased to have settled this matter.
That's Brian Clark reporting. And the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
We'll get back to the Ukrainian president's meeting along with our president. This weekend, I sent Ken and Belle, not one, but two TikToks of the new cheerleaders for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Some brave dudes, man.
There's some brave dudes out there. Blaze and Louie.
Yeah.
You're text me back. You're like, oh, they got good protection for that guy.
Yeah. I mean, some people just are not, they're just not going to like that.
No, they're not.
I mean, it's like, all right, you know, watching football, I don't even watch the cheerleaders.
No, I don't either.
The ones that I'm attracted to, I don't even watch them.
That's not why I'm there. But that's a tough thing right there to get people behind.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of cameras on those dudes.
Yeah, and I mean, it's, there was even like, I think I saw like NFL cameras, like specifically focusing on this as if the NFL is really trying to promote this. Yeah, do you promote something like this or, just don't make a big deal out of it?
My question is, who's it for?
Right.
Right? It's obviously that's not your audience.
Right.
It isn't. Your audience is dudes who watch football.
Right. And ladies who watch football.
Ladies who watch football. Nerds who want to play fantasy football. Do you guys play fantasy football?
Nah.
Have you ever played?
I just end up losing.
Oh, there you go. That's what I love about you. Your optimism of life, Ken, is just very. We gotta get quotes now and start giving them out to people and cards. Merry Christmas. Nah, I just end up losing.
I'll just get a rock. Same thing I got for Halloween.
I wouldn't even know how to play.
I've played never played fantasy football.
Yeah, I just don't want to take the time to do it.
Yeah, see, and those guys get so.
They get into it.
My
man.
old on-air partner, Gatos, got so into it.
Yeah.
That his wife used to say, "Thank God you're there for me." I'm like, "What are you talking about, Lynette?" She goes, "Because I don't want to hear about it anymore." She goes, "I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear all day about should I trade this guy? Should I trade that guy? My guy needs 2 points. What about this?" It's nuts. It is. And I know some of you are going to text. You go, "It's really fun." I'm sure it is. Yeah. So, but still, the whole cheerleader thing. I felt. Those guys are going to get so much hell.
Oh, man.
Do they don't travel with the team, right? I don't think so.
I have no idea. I mean.
And I said last week, it's not a stunt team, right? These guys aren't big, buff dudes who could throw a girl 25 feet in the air. They were dancing next to one of the cheerleaders, and I told Belle, and I'm not trying to be mean, he can get into a size 2. She was never getting into a size 2. She had stronger thighs, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
That had to make her feel self-conscious.
Yeah, these are not the traditional male cheerleaders.
Yeah.
The athletic, buff male cheerleaders. These are, they're a couple of guys who
look like
they're effeminate.
Yeah. They look like they're Queer Eye from the Straight Guy.
They like dancing like women.
Yeah. And again, knock yourself off. I just don't know who it's for.
Right. Well,
Right?
Exactly. What are we going for here?
Because I've got friends who are gay and they love football. And let me tell you something. They don't go for the cheerleaders, gay or straight.
No.
They go for the game.
Right.
They want to see guys smash into each other. And they also play fantasy football, which is weird. Just fantasy football is an odd thing. So, yeah, I know the Titans had a guy cheerleader. See, the thing is, the cheerleader thing is different. Like the stunt guys, I remember. At college, you see that a lot, right? Like they'll go to the sideline and they'll be on the guy and he's holding the girl up in the air and then he throws her in the air and she does a flip and they catch her.
A lot of acrobatics.
Yeah, like if they would have done that here, like if they would have done that, the girls would have come down and killed them.
Yes.
Just blazing Louis.
Yeah, these dudes aren't lifting anybody over their shoulders.
No, they barely get the pom-poms up.
Do you even lift, bro? Nah.
No, bro, I don't lift.
So, yeah, your question, that's kind of like my question, too, is what are we going for here?
Yeah, like who's the audience for this? Is it just so you can check a box? I mean, is that it?
I honestly think that's what it is.
Or do you think you're getting something from? I mean, like I said, I was very curious about the whole thing. Like, just what you got to know your audience. Like, that's the Bud Light thing.
Bingo.
And you know, the funny thing with Bud Light is, if it would have just been what the hell's her name again? His name, them name. What's his name?
What was that?
The Bud Light.
I can't remember.
Dylan Mulrooney.
Yeah, Bell knows her well. Dylan. So Dylan, if it would have just been that, it would have been people throwing a fit. It was the fact that your audience then heard from the person who's the director of marketing who said,
yeah,
we got to change the way we do things because basically the only people who drink Bud Light are knuckle draggers and frat boys.
Right.
Yeah, that's your audience.
And you were selling a lot of Bud Light to those knuckle draggers and frat boys until you opened your mouth and stuck your foot in it.
And then afterwards, you were losing to near beer. They still make near beer?
Yeah.
It's like beer, adjacent. Near beer. For those of you who want to pretend like you're an alcoholic as a kid, but not quite. In Britain, they used to have I think it's called shandy. Shandy? It's
shandy beer.
It's lemonade and beer, I think. I never drank it.
No, you're a teetotaler.
I'm
dude.
a teetotaler, mate. It's what I do.
Teetotaler.
It's what I do, mate. It's what I do. I said earlier that Trump was thinking about putting, not taking off the table the boots on the ground, which I found kind of surprising. And somebody said, well, you don't take, everything off the table when you're in negotiations. I get that. But, with Putin, and Putin right now does not need to stop any of this. He can go on and on and on for as long as he wants until he eventually forces somebody's hand to do something.
By saying it's not the end of the road and not ruling out U.S. troops, so significant.
Colonel, your thoughts? Yeah, I think Jeff is exactly right. This is a major change, and so when you look at the political dynamic and all of the things that are related to putting U.S. troops potentially on the ground in a place like Ukraine, there was a lot of reluctance not only in the Trump administration to do something like this, but a lot of reluctance even in the Biden administration to even consider something like that. So we're seeing you almost want to call it the internationalization of Donald Trump happening right in front of our eyes here. And when you see that, it really shows that there is a potential for him to reclaim a leading role, at least in Europe and perhaps in the world. And perhaps there's been I almost want to call it a change of heart in how to approach foreign policy.
I think Trump, he's not everybody's cup of tea. He's not a politician. He doesn't come across as a politician. He doesn't like war, right? There's a lot of things that Trump just does differently. That's why people like him. That's why. And I didn't think it was an embarrassment as much as the left would like to think it was embarrassment on Friday because somehow Trump allowed Putin to come over here and they had a conversation for a few hours. I didn't think it was any kind of weird embarrassment. We didn't get weaker. That stuff is so ridiculous. We got weaker. He embarrassed us. Who did? Explain to me. Why does nobody ask? Okay, Swalwell, who many people wanted to punch, by the way, when we talked about that last hour. Who did he embarrass? How did he make us weaker? Tell me how. Well, because why? Because everybody wants the war to end, but nobody wants to have a conversation with the person who is currently the only person driving the bus in the war. So how are you going to have the war end? Just anybody. I don't think anybody's going to answer that. So like Bell said last hour, their brand is simply hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump. Not a lot of people are happy with the cheerleaders, guys. Although some people have asked, what locker room do you think they get dressed in? Probably the locker room, you think.
That's a good question.
Probably. They give cheer scholarships. I thought it was partial cheer, partial gymnastics. I don't even know if they do gymnastics outside of a few schools now. Although that's probably changing because of Livy Dunn. Because that, you know who she is, right? The LSU cheerleader.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of, she probably changed a lot because there's a lot. I tell you what, you can say whatever you want, but sex sells. And,
Yes,
a 20-year-old that's gorgeous playing volleyball, it's a different world, She's got $1 million in endorsements. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Try. Ken and I would love that. Ken, I'm going to ask you a question.
All right.
One of the biggest things that is going on for men, because, plastic surgery is for everybody now, getting their legs lengthened. And you think I'm kidding.
It's true.
It's massive. So here's a guy that was 5'3" before surgery.
Yeah.
Right? He's like 5'9" now.
What does that mean? That's got to look odd.
Well, yeah, because your legs are long, but your torso's short.
Yeah, your torso
They're not
is
stretching your torso.
Right.
So if you look 9 feet tall, but your torso's built for somebody 5'10", you know what you look? Weird. But would you, if given the chance, and it wasn't going to hurt because it's 3 months of everybody says the most excruciating pain in the world, would you want to be, what would, if you could dream, like 6 foot?
I'd love to be 6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
You're funny, Belle. It is pretty nice. I'm not 6 foot. I'm 5'10".
But yeah, I'm not doing anything like that. I mean, hell, I don't even put color in my hair.
No, me either.
So
because it's not there. My daughter, Charlie, she's going to be 7 and next week. She was looking at pictures with my wife the other day, and she's like, she saw me with my hair. She's like, Dad has hair? She's like, yeah, Daddy shaves his head. Because she doesn't like, she's like, I don't like the hair.
Right.
But, no. I mean, I'm at that point. You get to a point.
How long have you been shaving your hair?
About 5 years.
So her whole life, all she's known is
it's like one or two. She saw me with hair, but
yeah, that's all she knows.
Yeah, because I was getting up at 1 or 2 in the morning, and then I would have to do my hair, and my hair so thick, and it was crazy. So I'm like driving to work quick and fast, and I enjoy it. It's nice. It is. I don't have to wash my hair like Belle. Like I'll go, hey Belle, let's go get dinner. He's like, I can't. I got to do my hair. It's gonna be all night, right? He puts it up in a set. It's got the curlers.
Yeah, I just
no, I flat iron my hair. I do the exact opposite.
Yeah, I just run a bar over my head and we're good.
Yeah, it's that
lather
simple.
up the old beard really good and we're good to go.
So it is, and that's why I like it. I like to get up and go. It's my favorite thing. But I was looking at this because guys are doing more and more of this, and I was like, would I do this? No. Now, there wasn't this opportunity when you're a kid, like us, younger generation, because you don't see a lot of people that are in their 50s or 60s doing this. This is all 20-somethings,
right?
Who they're not short kings. They're not happy.
Yeah,
and they want to be taller.
They're little fellas,
and this one guy was 5'6". He's 38, and he says he hates his life as a short man. And he wants to be, so he goes to the Wanna Be Taller clinic in Istanbul.
And, the Wanna Be Taller Institute.
That is hilarious. And they helped him grow. He was a little fella.
He was a little fella.
And now he's six foot. But it just is weird.
Now he's a regular fella.
He is. He says, but you know what's interesting? They also will shorten your leg if you want that.
I don't know who would want that unless you're like abnormally tall.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think anybody would want that.
Yeah. I don't know. And we'll talk about this a little bit more because the pain that people go through for this.
I was getting ready to say, man,
is everybody I've seen talk about this is the most excruciating pain in your life. It's a kind of pain that you wish on nobody because it's not, hey, they do it and you walk out of there and you're in a wheelchair for a week or two. It's the kind of pain where you're lying in bed for 3 months and every day you got to twist a little something. It is.
No, sir.
Talk a little bit about that. We got more of other stuff that we haven't got to today. It's going to be fun. Yes, we're going to do a little bit of the chaos of Rush Week and the cost of it and how big it is here in the South. I didn't realize that because I'm not in a frat or a sorority. Because you're not supposed to be if you're a grown man that's in their 50s. I mean, you could be in there, but eventually they arrest you and take you out.
Hey, Will Ferrell would.
We start our own. We got
That's
our
my
own
boy.
gang.
You're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue. Love you, Blue. It's a Chad Vincent Show. Super Talk 997. Let me tell you something. Ruff Greens, ruffgreens.com/chat. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega 369, all that awesome stuff that goes into your dog's food because of Ruff Greens that will help energize them, will help give them a better health outlook in ways you cannot believe. It is 1 scoop a day. It is like, we reach for our energy drinks or our smoothies or our coffee. We need that kick me. This does that. Live nutrition right into your dog's bowl. Once a day. That's the beauty of Ruff Greens. Now, this is what I want you to do. I want you to try a Jumpstart trial bag. It's $20 value. You cover the cost of shipping. They send it out to you. Watch what happens. Your dog's going to have a shinier coat, thicker, less itching, more mobility, incredible energy levels. It's going to improve in a major way, better heart health, just to name a few things. Try a Jumpstart trial bag. It's free for you. It's a $20 value. Just cover the cost of shipping. ruffgreens.com/chat. ruffgreens.com/chat.
All right, drivers in Cool Springs, we still have the left 2 lanes blocked, 65 northbound before Moore's Lane by a crash. And then here in Nashville, the right entrance lane is blocked, 40 eastbound at Broadway by a crash over in the Gulch. We'll let you hear some of the audio from the joint press conference, kind of Q&A, if you will, between President Trump and Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky, coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
What about Epstein? Remember that cat?
We're having really good conversations. You have to understand you can imagine how many documents there are. I think that we're going to have I think we'll receive the documents very soon. They're compiling everything together. I think we're working together in a good faith effort, and everything's coming along. I expect to receive the documents very, very soon.
Yeah, James Comer there.
You're not getting anything.
You're not getting squidoosh. You're not getting anything. So last night, 60 Minutes Australia did a huge piece on this. And let me tell you something. I wouldn't be a fan either. I'm like, oh. It was not, there are so many victims out there.
Yeah.
So many victims. Because this wasn't 1 or 2 women. They were replenishing the girls all the time. All the time. And they did a deep dive. And then it was gone. YouTube pulled it down. And then they got him to put it back up. But it's not a good look. And it's not going away. Remember, all this went away because Mike Johnson sent everybody home to go get yelled at by their constituents for other things and this.
That's right.
Mike's like, you need to leave.
Have fun in your home district.
Oh, man, have you seen some of those?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, that fell in Nebraska. Man.
Oh, he got torched by all kinds of people. Right, left, independents, people coming from all parts of the state to yell at him over stuff that some people wanted. Where's the Epstein crap? Why aren't you on this? Other people are like, what are you doing with Israel? Why are we doing this? Other people are like, this one big, beautiful bill. This isn't as beautiful and big as it's way bigger and not beautiful. I mean, that guy, he got tore up. But you know what? He showed up.
He showed up, man.
Most people are not. They're doing the phone call thing.
Oh, doing the phone town hall, the telehall.
Yeah. Or the ones they are doing now are almost like you send in your stuff and then we'll invite you to a special meeting. And so I don't get yelled at by a bunch of people. You should just have a guy like a comic backstage. Just, okay, I want to do some crowd work. Give me some stuff, right? Look around there, see who's out there. So when they start yelling at me, just whisper in my ear, go at them at this. Where are you from, ma'am? And just start hammering them. It is, yeah, but that Epstein, everything's, it's gone. It's not. It's not gone. And
James Comer there said the same thing like 4 times in the same sentence.
Yeah. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. You're not going to get it.
Feel really good about this.
You're not. They don't want you to have it. They don't, because there's obviously stuff in there that's really bad for America, bad for the powers that be, bad probably for Israel, bad for a lot of folks.
And it's, our very own Tim Burchett has said, and, I don't know if Tim is right, but I mean, he said he thinks everything's gone. By now, everything's wiped.
Yeah, I would assume. All the stuff that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He thinks the same thing about, space aliens, too.
Yeah.
We're not going to see any of that.
Well, until they
if
land.
they do have something.
Yeah, until they land. Although
they land.
Anna Paulina Luna, she said last week that she's seen it in the skiff. That the stuff that they have is here. It is not of this world. It's also not little green man from far away. Think interdimensional.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's an interesting thing. But I think you're right. All the good stuff is wiped. All the stuff that would be needed is wiped. So if you think that stuff went on, the problem is for the people and the powers that be who want to keep everybody shut up about this is their victims now all feel they can come forward. Like there's safety in numbers. So Ro Kahana, and I think it is going to be, is it Thomas Massey? It's September, early September. They're doing a big thing where there's a lot of victims coming to talk about this. it's going to be a tougher thing than JFK hiding all of this stuff for a long time.
Now that will be something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. Coming up, we'll get back to the leg lengthening thing. Somebody just said leg lengthening, $35,000, and then the guy or gal 7732 said, "Funny thing is, I accidentally sent that to my 5'4" son-in-law."
Nice.
Oops. Oh my Lord! So we'll talk about it because I have the entire procedure, and when you hear this, it is stomach churning. It really is. So we'll talk about that among other things straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
$1:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. And in our nation's capital,
It's an honor to have the president of Ukraine with us. We've had a lot of good discussions, a lot of good talks.
President Trump opening the Q&A with media members with Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky sitting next to him in the Oval Office.
Thank you very much for your efforts, personal efforts to stop killings and stop this war.
Now, so talks today with Zelensky and then members of the EU and the UK on what Russian President Vladimir Putin may be demanding in order to get to a ceasefire and an end of the Ukraine war. 2 Utah police officers killed and a third injured, along with a service dog, when they responded to a domestic disturbance call last night, and they were fired on by a suspect inside the home. Happened in Tremonton, about 70 miles north of Salt Lake City. Here's Brigham City Police Chief Chad Rias.
These officers are definitely heroes.
The suspect in the shooting arrested and has been charged with aggravated murder. And here in Nashville, Channel 4 says the community coming together to help 10 families who lost their homes in a massive apartment fire over the weekend in Bellevue. Councilwoman Sherry Weiner represents part of that district and tells Channel 4.
We have one child who's getting ready to go away to college, had everything ready, and lost it all. Stories of legal documents lost that were critical. Those are the kind of things that they're having to deal with within 24 hours of watching everything that they own burn up in a fire.
No residents were injured in the fire at Slate apartment homes. One firefighter sustained minor burns and others experienced heat exhaustion while battling that blaze. No word on the cause, but there had been a fire at that same apartment complex back in 2018. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Mid to upper 90s today under plenty of sunshine this afternoon. Heat index between 100 to 105 degrees. Tonight down to the 70s for the overnight low. More heat tomorrow in the mid to upper 90s. The heat index again around 105 with a good amount of sunshine for most of the day. Wednesday we're back to the low and mid 90s. A few showers and a thunderstorm Wednesday afternoon.
You want to be thinner, right? We're talking about stretching you out, right? Maybe you're not tall enough for your weight, or maybe there's a better way of doing Maybe there's a better way of doing stuff. Contours is the better way. How would you like to go relax and have it melt off of you? It is incredible. So Contours, let me tell you something. You're guaranteed to lose 2 inches. 2 inches in your first treatment, or you don't pay. Right? They're running a special right now, $99. You go on in there, you relax. It's non-invasive. And I tell you what, no matter how hard you do them sit-ups, the side crunches, all of that kind of stuff, sometimes you just get to the point where you realize you're not going to lose that part. That's where Contours comes in. They're ready to help you. Men, women, this is amazing. I'm fitting in my shirts way better, my shorts way better. It's incredible. So what I want you to do, call Contours today, 615-236-9960, 615-236-9960. Guaranteed you're going to lose 2 inches in your first treatment, or you do not pay. Call Contours, 615-236-9960, or visit ContoursLLC.com to schedule. You guys couldn't see us when the Duke's Mayo song came on. We were all jamming.
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, baby.
Official condiment of the Chad Benson Show.
That's right. Mayonnaise. You guys want to speak? You guys want to hear man? I don't know. I thought this has to be a joke. This has to be AI. It's not AI. So everybody's got a Substack. I should do a Substack. This is James Comey on his Substack today talking about his love of T Swift. 5 minute about how much he loves T, how he has been inspired by her, how he's part of a Swiftie group among his family. Blah, blah, blah.
As he wrote, when you become less polite, the alteration in your conduct can make you less happy, more depressed, and angrier about life. I know you get that even without the research. Just watch Fox News or hang around on X and you'll see what he means. We can't stop people from being jerks. What we can do is stop it from hurting us, from changing us. At my second Taylor Swift concert in Hartford, Connecticut, 14 years ago this summer, she sang a song about this topic, asking, why you gotta be so mean? And she spoke directly to the nasty people. I bet you got pushed around. Somebody made you cold. But the cycle ends right now, because you can't lead me down that road. You'll be glad I didn't sing that. That's right. Because down that road is unhappiness. Nobody should have that power over us. Thank you, Taylor Swift. Keep the faith.
What in God's name was that? That guy used to run our FBI.
Yeah. What an odd dude.
That was as awkward as it gets. Like, who's that for? Oh, I'm really going for the youngsters. Yeah, you think all the young girls are watching the old James Comey Substack?
She's got it. She's back into an album cycle, and he is sucking up to meet her. That's what he's doing. I think he's a legit fan, and all this is meant to kiss her ass because he knows she's a liberal, and she knows he was pro Kamala and pro Hillary, so he's just sucking up to meet her.
Anthony texted us and said he writes Taylor Swift lyrics in birthday cards.
Really?
Oh, my goodness. The whole 5 minutes is surreal. He starts talking about his favorite songs. He's a nut. Have you ever seen him, too? He's ginormous.
He's a nut.
He's like 9 feet tall. There are pictures of him walking down the hall, flanked by all his little helpers. It looks like he is amongst the Oompa Loompas. Yeah, that is, it is just crazy.
Maybe he needs to be shortened.
Maybe he does. Speaking of that, are you ready for this? So we're talking earlier about, it cost about $35,000. Now you can go to, what was our favorite clinic? The not so short clinic, whatever it's called in Istanbul.
Yeah.
The Wannabe Tall Clinic.
Yeah, the Wannabe Tall Clinic.
In Istanbul. That's going to cost you like about $32,000 total. So if you want to go there and have this done. Now, check this out. So this is the way it works. The most excruciating pain, everybody has said. The first thing they do is they evaluate you. They talk about how far. Again, it starts you at 2 inches, move you up or down. All right. They have to, everything's being stretched, by the way. Your hamstrings, all of it's getting stretched.
Goodness.
So the surgeon cuts the bone, usually the femur or tibia, into 2 segments.
Wouldn't they have to cut both bones?
Yeah. So I guess. I'm not quite sure. It depends on how tall you want to be, I guess. Right? So then they put the lengthening device attached to the bone, either the metal framework outside the body connected by pins and wires. The internal rod is a screw-like device. It's like a nail. Inserted inside the bone, controlled remotely. That takes about 3 hours or so. Okay? Then the lengthening phase starts about 14 days post-surgery. Okay? So the device is adjusted daily, 1 millimeter a day for femurs. Tibia is about 0.75 millimeters. To pull the bone segment apart stimulating new bone growth in the gap. That lasts 2 to 4 months.
Goodness. And people are doing this.
They are doing this. You people, just learn to be the short king.
Man.
Right? Kill him with kindness, become a... Let me tell you what happens. You get out of a Ferrari, right? And you're funny, and you're living life. Whoo, baby, it don't matter. It don't matter. That have the confidence go over that 6-foot girl. So what's up, girl?
That's right.
Right.
See, I mean, I love tall women.
I do too.
That's why, as a short fella, every girl I dated was taller than me. I was in heaven.
That's a win. All right? That's a win right there. So this is insane. So 1 to 2 months of centimeters of length gained. 8 centimeters may take 8 months for the femurs.
Goodness.
And you can't do anything either. You can't walk or do anything because the fear is that your bones aren't ready and they'll snap. Then you'll be right back. Now, weeks 1 through 12, this is awful. The most painful due to the daily stretching of bones, muscles, tendons, and nerves. Pain as described by the patients, raging, sharp pain during the adjustments and physical exercise. It's great that you're 6'1" now. Unfortunately, you're addicted to Oxycontin.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, you are now addicted to opioids.
Yes. After a while, the pain is called bearable but constant. And they said it takes a psychological toll over time because of the length of the process.
People are crazy, man.
Now, here's where it's crazy. Full recovery. Most patients resume daily activities 6 to 9 months, though the full bone may take 9 to 12 months. Light sports can resume 6 to 18 months post-surgery. Children heal faster than adults. Yeah, this just sounds like the worst thing ever. So if you were thinking about getting taller, don't.
You got to be like seriously desperate to go through that.
Yeah.
Man.
You have to have they would call it the Napoleon complex. Here's the thing. Napoleon wasn't short for his time. They wanted everybody to perceive him to being a little guy. That was part of the process. But he was about average. So they made sure that all of the pictures and everything were him short. But that Napoleon complex that you have to have where your entire self-esteem is built on height. And here's the news, right? Whether it's weight or height, you're still you. So if you were miserable before and that there was a lot to it, it's not just probably your height. God,
might be your personality.
It might be, right? So, I mean, think about that, though. The whole thought of them breaking your tibia in two, or your femur in two. And when you see the things, it looks like they've got it all like these metal things on the outside. You twist them. And they talk about it's as much as it is the bone, it's the stretching of all of the tendons and your muscles.
Yeah.
That cannot be good.
No.
That's got to be
well, Kyle had it done. He didn't complain that much.
Oh, that's right. If you guys have never seen what was it? He wanted to be in the NBA?
He wanted to be in the NBA, but he thought he needed to be black and really tall.
Yeah. So they made him like 7 feet tall. The problem is his body was the normal size and his legs were long. And the minute he took a step, eventually his legs snapped. Yeah. So, that's. What did Larry say? In the 7th grade, I was 5'6". My 8th grade girlfriend was 6 foot.
Awesome.
There you go, man. Right? That's it. Got to own it, baby. Got to own it. Yeah. Bringing Kathy Bates into the initial leg breaking. Just the thought.
You cock-a-doodie.
Oh, that's right. Just the thought of the cutting your leg and then cutting it in two is horrific.
I thought you were joking about this at first.
No.
This is a real thing, man.
Yeah. I mean,
people are crazy.
It's like there's no other way. We could do no other way. There's nothing else.
Well, they've done this for years in terms of addressing birth defects, but this is completely cosmetic.
Yeah, this is all cosmetic. Like like Messi, one of the greatest soccer player arguably of all time, when Barcelona eventually ended up getting his signature on a napkin, one of the things they agreed to is they would give him growth hormone because he was so small as a child. Even though he was so much more advanced skill-wise, at like 10, he looked like he was 4. So they started giving him growth hormones, and it still only got him to a certain level. It didn't hurt him. But, man, you got to be committed. And like you say, what's the psychology of it? Because you're going to go through pain for 6 months to a year, and nothing else has changed in your life. How do you live?
Yeah, so is the sole reason people are doing this is for relationships?
Yeah. Guys feel
I was getting ready to say.
Well, I mean, if you look at what do women always want? They want a tall guy, 6 foot. They got to make $450 million a year, right? They got to make sure that I'm a goddess and I never have to work. They can't date anybody else, but if I want to, I can, right? And, it's like but 6 foot is the magic number for a lot of women.
Hey, Jeff Bezos is only 5'7". He does okay.
He does okay. You know why? Because he doesn't, to him, it's just the thing. Right? It's just who I am.
He's got billions of dollars to make up for
right?
it.
Like, even then, I mean, he got Mackenzie before. She was pretty hot in her day. Yeah. Yeah, let's be real. If you get out of you could be straight out of the burn ward, 450 pounds. You get out of a brand new Bentley, somebody's rolling with you, even if you only got one little finger to hold. Right? Yeah. I think he's cute. He doesn't have any eyes. I think it's darling.
He's rich and he's taller. Is he handsome? Well, he's rich.
He's richly handsome. So, Alice, that does not come close to the stereotype for majority of women. It does in the dating world. And I'll tell you what, go look. Here's the reality. The numbers bear it out. 20% of women are fighting over 5% of men in the dating world. 80% of women are fighting over 5% of men. The other 20%, you got the 95% of guys are fighting over. Because on average, you go and see over and over again, it says nobody under 6 foot, nobody under. That is one of the number one things.
Interesting.
Is the 6 footer. Besides being, wealthy and handsome. Wow. It's kind of the reality of it. And the tall thing seems to be a thing. And what was it? A couple of years ago, Chicago did that study on height. When we come back, I'm going to find that study on height and money, because this is an interesting study as well. We'll do that. A bunch of other stuff. We got some more on what's going on. Zelensky. John Bolton's on CNN right now, wondering why he can't bomb something right now. He'd like to call in a firefight right there in the studios, but they won't let him. This guy's, he is talk about a warmonger, right? He would have been Attila's right-hand man. Oh, my Lord. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit about that. I got that study. It is very interesting. If you missed any of the show, shame on you. Shame! Shame!
Shame, shame, shame. You should have known better.
Webroot, when you're going to go on the web, how protected are you? Probably not a lot. You wouldn't want to be out there driving around without insurance. Don't be on the web without protecting yourself. Webroot delivers that over and over again. So what is Webroot? Antivirus and web protection. They got everything from password manager to real-time protection against malware, ransomware, phishing, and more. It is incredible. Built-in firewall, network monitoring. On top of that, identity protection. Up to $1 million in theft-related expensive. Coverage includes children, students, seniors, dependents. This is great, too. Advanced dark web monitoring. Perfect to protect yourself and your family. Think of elderly parents. Perfect for young kids and kids alike with all the online predators. They've got VPN and backup, all kinds of things. 24/7 U.S.-based customer support, which is awesome. I love that. And no annoying pop-ups, which is incredible. Quick to protect, better than everybody else. Customers love Webroot. 25 years, 90+% retention rate because they're the best in the business. Now, I want you to save right now If you want to protect yourself, that data out there, people are trying to get at it every single day. And Webroot is going to make sure they get nowhere near it. 50% off Webroot Total Protection or Webroot Essentials. This is what you need to do. Webroot.com/Chad. WEBROT.com/Chad. Remember, 50% off right here, but only when you go to Webroot.com/Chad. Webroot.com/Chad. Live a better digital life with Webroot.
All right, drivers, got a crash in Rural Hill. It is the off-ramp 24 eastbound to Bell Road, partially blocking the off-ramp there. We've got more from President Trump's meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky and other European leaders about ending the war with Russia coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yeah, they're holding a press conference. They just did a picture.
Yeah, he commented the German chancellor on his tan. He commended him on his tan.
Probably asked, Macron, where's your man wife? I saw you out there on the old surfboard. You looking good? Looking good, Macron.
Macron.
The Short Kings, we were talking about it. So there was a study done, and we're talking about people who are getting leg lengthening because people want to look better, right? And they think height is one of the big things. So there was a big study done by the University of Chicago, what makes you click, mate preferences, and matching outcomes in online dating. So it had to do with money. If you're 6'10", 6'6", 6'4", 6'2", right, 6 foot, they don't care about money, right? You know, as long as you make a little bit of something. If you're 5'8", you've got to make at least $138,000. If you're 5'6", you have to make $175,000. 5'4", 221, 5'2", 269, 5 foot, over $315,000 for a woman to find you attractive. And for the guys, we don't care.
Figure under 5 feet, does it hit the millions at that point?
Yeah, you got to be a millionaire. You got to be like those little guys who sell real estate on the old TV at night. Or Warwick Davis. Or who's the other guy? Peter Dinklage?
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage. Yeah, but he ruined it for everybody. But that's it. So it equates to you have to earn a decent amount. The baseline income for men was about $60,000. For women, it was about $42,000. So a man who's 5'2", in order to be desirable for a woman. So a woman, she could be 5'5", whatever it is, but to be desirable the same way that the 6-footer is, they had to earn well over $260,000 a year. I didn't make that up, okay? That's a study done by people at a college, not an online college either. Trump hosting European leaders and Zelensky at the White House. We'll talk a little bit about that. Trump kind of mentioned that maybe boots on the ground for security. Find out what that's all about. A lot of other stuff coming up in hour number 3. If you're missing the show, try to grab the podcast. Check us out across all of our social media as well. Like the show on the Rumble, on the Twitch. I don't even know how you do it on Twitch. We're not even playing video games. We should totally be doing that. And, of course, on YouTube. This is the Chad Benz Show, Super Talk 997.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. And Ukrainian President Zelensky, European leaders meeting with President Trump today at the White House. Follows Friday's summit between Trump and Russia's Vladimir Putin. Here's Trump in the Oval Office with Zelensky ahead of the meeting today.
You have a ceasefire and they rebuild and rebuild and rebuild, and, you know, maybe they don't want that. But if you look at the 6 deals that we made peace and you know, long-term, long-running wars, I didn't do any ceasefires.
Right now in Nashville, community members offering up food, clothing, furniture, even money to help the 10 families who lost their homes in that massive fire at Slade Apartment Homes in Bellevue on Saturday. That's Metro Councilwoman Sherry Wiener's district. She tells Channel 4.
It's Bellevue. It's what we do. I am floored every day at the kindness and the generosity of this community.
No word on the cause of that fire. It is worth noting the Slade Apartment Homes experienced another fire back in 2018. And authorities in Clarksville confirmed the body of an 11-year-old girl who went missing in the Red River near Billy Dunlop Park was recovered yesterday afternoon. According to reports, witnesses saw the girl go under the water near a metal bridge around 1:30, with several adults attempting to locate her. Clarksville Police, Fire, Rescue, Montgomery County EMS responded to the scene. Rescue personnel located and recovered the child from the water around 2:44. The park and surrounding areas have been temporarily closed during the investigation. And a recent spike in road deaths has the Federal Highway Administration looking at speed limits. Here's ABC's Wayne Cabot.
Its first update since 2009 questions the long-standing unofficial rule that sets the limit at the 85th percentile of what drivers actually drive on a given highway. Transportation officials say that causes a feedback loop. People speed, and then limits get raised even higher. The new guidance suggests states consider danger to pedestrians and the frequency of crashes. Madison, Wisconsin, this summer lowered local limits from 25 to 20. A similar move in Seattle brought a noticeable decline in serious injury, crashes, and speeding. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
On the other hand, North Dakota just became the 9th state to hit the accelerator this summer, pushing the gas to 80. In Texas, you can drive as high as 85 miles per hour. Speaking of Texas, those Democrats weren't in any rush to get back, but they have returned after a 2-week standoff over a Republican plan to redraw the state's congressional districts.
Under threat of arrest as they return to Texas, enough Democrats are back, allowing the Texas House to move forward. In the end, Texas Republicans will likely gain as many as 5 new House seats next year, but California is threatening to do the opposite in retaliation and redraw its maps to offset whatever Texas does. Texas Democrats say they're building a legal case over what they call a discriminatory map. Whatever Texas does, it could get tied up in the courts. Alex Stone, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
So Trump and the gang are all together. You've got Ursula von der Leyen, who's the president of the European Commission. You've got Macron, Zelensky. They're all there talking about whether or not they can end this thing. And it's really weird that they're doing it kind of out in the open, right? I mean, what are they talking? I mean, I thought this was supposed to be, we're behind closed doors. Let's get this thing sorted out. So, look who Trump has next to him.
Is that the
Merloni,
Prime Minister of Italy?
Yeah. Hey, sugar, why don't you sit next to me? Oh, goodness me. She looks thrilled to be here, doesn't she? Arms all crossed.
She was smiling earlier.
Yeah, but now she's like, this is no fun.
When's dinner?
When are we going to have fun? We're supposed to be napping in Italy. We're supposed to be resting.